Alright guys, we're about to do first shots with the Girsan MC P35 Optic. Now, if you watched my previous video, have a link below, you'll see that I said I was going to replace the sight, the optic, with a hollow sun, and I have. This is a hollow sun 507K green dot. I'm going to first take you back to my workbench and show you that process, and then we'll be back here to shoot the first rounds. So the lugs here are too tall to fit into the shallower holes of the 507K. You can see the light there coming through on the bottom. It's because I can't get it all the way down. So I'm going to have to shave these lugs down a little bit. I'm going to do that and then I'll be back. Alright, so I just took a little bit of material off these lugs. You can see the bare steel area is the amount that I took off. And I just used this hand file. Took just a few minutes. Don't want to take off too much. Then you test just by putting on your sight and seeing if any light passes through. And fits on nicely now, and there is no light passing through. Now, because this is bare steel exposed, I'm going to put cold blue on these lugs and put some oil on it. Then I'm going to have to get some new screws because these screws, you see how deep they go. The ones that came with the gun, I can't really use these screws because on the hollow sun they just stick way up. So I'm going to have to find some other screws that give me enough thread engagement and also go into the optic and sit recessed. Alright, so I have put a little bit of this super glue on those exposed lugs. I had to search for screws that match the thread pitch to this guy, and what I ended up using is this size screw, metric 4, 10 millimeters long. I got these from the Swamp Fox Optic screw pack. You can get this for $20. And put those in, it seems to work. Those 10 millimeter screws protrude as far out of the hollow sun as these guys do out of the factory optic. And now I've got a nice green dot that matches the width of the slide a little better. It's definitely a better sight, so we will try this out. Alright, we're ready to shoot our first rounds. Going to be shooting Federal 124 grain full metal jacket, and I have 15 rounds loaded in the magazine that comes with the gun. I'm just function testing at this point, so red dot's not zeroed yet. Let's just shoot and see how it works. Slide locked back. Notice the magazine doesn't quite want to drop free. I'll test that with other magazines. Alright, now I'm going to zero the red dot, or the green dot, I guess. And probably not going to video that because it's pretty boring. Just slow fire and checking the zero, cranking the screws. We'll be back. Alright, I think I have a good zero for the green dot now. The screws did back out just a little bit as I was zeroing, so I had to retighten them. But I do have a target set up down there, but I've just been shooting also some pine cones that have fallen on the range, and I can't hit them, so I think I'm okay with the zero. While I was zeroing, I was using this stainless steel magazine, Browning high power magazine. I think this is made by Mekgar, or at least it was. They're not available anymore. It also does not want to drop free. Just saying, no malfunctions. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a little bit. I'm going to shoot the Girsan, and I'm also going to shoot my Browning and just give you my impressions of the difference. So this time for function testing, I'm using a KRD magazine. These were widely available during the Clinton era magazine ban. These are 15 rounds. They always worked well for me. Went faster than I thought. I'm just shooting these plastic targets on the ground that bounce around. Sorry I don't have another camera angle for you, but it's just me with a phone here filming. I guess I should also point out, while I was zeroing, the fiber optics came out of the front sight. I have read about other people having that problem too. It doesn't so much matter for me because I'm using the green dot, but we'll see if I'm going to do anything about that. I have other fiber optic rods I could put in, or maybe change the front sight. Alright, so let me take a magazine out of the Browning. That's great. I'm very comfortable with this pistol. I'm very used to it, so it feels good in my hand. The recoil's a little different. I would say that, okay, so this one kind of fits in your hand a little nicer because of the beaver tail, but I think the recoil's a little softer on the Browning, probably because the springs are so strong, especially that hammer spring. But other than that, slightly more recoil, but slightly more comfortable because of the beaver tail. They're very similar. All right, that doesn't want to drop free either. And just to show you, they do drop free out of the Browning. So now I'm going to function test CCI gold dots, 124 grain, out of this Mekgar 13 round magazine. Well, everything's working great. I think I am out of ammo, so that might be it for today. I shot somewhere around 100 rounds through the Girsan. The zeroing was not on camera. I'm hitting what I'm aiming at, just these targets on the ground, pine cones, plastic targets. As far as the zero, maybe I'll show you that. Here's the range I've been shooting on, guys, and you can see some of the plastic targets. In the distance there, you can see the farthest one I've been shooting, that orange, I call it a top hat. Zeroing. Okay, so at first the optic came a bit loose, and you know, I ended up a little all over the place. But once I got that sorted out, I shot over here, and not all of my shots here are at the center. Okay, so this probably looks bad, but if you look here, I shot a 3-shot group, and that is pretty good. Forgot one more thing. I have 10 rounds of this Sig Sauer Elite Performance Ammunition Full Metal Jacket. I have found this to have hard primers. It doesn't go off in every gun that I have. I don't know if it's just this batch or what, but 10 rounds, we're gonna try it, see if they ignite. Well, they all went off. I hit that orange top hat in the back of the range. That's about 50 yards. So I'm very happy with this gun. It's accurate, reliable. It works. And since I'm out of ammo, I think that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching.